And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're talking about Cash and Guns 2nd Edition. Now, Cash and Guns is the family-friendly game in which you actually teach your children to point guns at each other. Okay, maybe that's not something most people want to do, but you have to admit, a lot of people do like to play with toy guns, and these are obviously toy guns. The original Cash and Guns had bright orange guns. These look a little better than that. Cash and Guns is basically the scene from many movies. We call it the Mexican standoff, where everyone's pointing guns at each other and who's going to blink first. I believe Reservoir Dogs is probably the most famous of this, but it's that kind of style. This is the 2nd edition of the game and makes quite a few changes to the first one, but retains the same basic feel. Spoiler alert, I really like it. Let me show you. Each player is going to get one of these stand-up people. You can be Pedro or James or Farha or Nikita or Yoko. So you take this person and put them in front of you. You also get a gun. It's a black gun with an orange tip so that everyone knows it's not a real gun. Players are going to get some cards. I sleeve mine because they take a lot of wear and tear over the course of the game. You get 3 cards that say bang, and you get 5 cards that say click. You'll take these cards, and then a pile of loot is placed in the middle of the table, and round 1 of 8 rounds begins. 8 cards are placed in the middle of the table. That's the loot that you're fighting over in this round. In each round, players are all going to simultaneously, one person says 1, 2, 3, go, and then you point your guns at other people. And of course, you turn it sideways or upside down or whatever makes you feel like a gangster because you're really not one. And everyone's going to look and see who guns are pointed at. Then, the one person who is the leader, the boss leader, they're going to have this desk here because we all know that gangsters have nice looking desks with bullet holes in them. But anyhow, that person can tell one person to change their target. They can't tell them who to change it to, they can just say change it, which of course if you're not careful can be at you. After this happens, players will then, someone counts 1, 2, 3, and if players think that they might die or get shot, they can fall, they can drop out. Anybody who is pointing at that player must drop their gun, and the person who is that player must drop their gun. Their cards are discarded with no one seeing what they are. Now, this leads you to, you don't know what was going to happen. Anybody then who still is pointing a gun at somebody will reveal their card. If it's a bang, that person falls down and takes a wound. If it's your 3rd wound, you're out of the game and everyone laughs at you because you're dead. And you were dumb. And also dead. Then, anyone who hasn't taken a wound and hasn't fallen down voluntarily, which is a way to not get a wound, then we'll start drafting these cards in the middle, starting with the person who's the boss. You can take this desk, which means you're the boss for the next round, or you can take one of the 8 loot cards. The different loot cards are, there's different denominations of bills, 5, 10, and 20. There are diamonds, which are 1, 5, and 10. Not as good as the bills, but at the end of the game, whoever has most diamonds gets this huge diamond, which is worth $60,000. You can take a painting, which if you look here real carefully, you can see here that one painting is worth $4,000, 2, 12, and it accelerates quickly. If you get all 10 paintings, which will never ever happen in any game that ever exists, I don't know why they even put it there, you'll get $500,000 and you win the game. And please send me an email, let me know that you did that, and I will send you a letter to those who playing against you for how dumb they were. If you take this, it heals up all your wounds immediately. And if you take this, if there's any discarded bang cards, you get 1 back, and you can get rid of one of your click cards instead. And then you go to the next round, and you continue to do this. At the end of the game, everyone who's left alive counts up all their money. Whoever has the most points is the winner. There's also special cards that you can play with. You get one of these at the beginning of the game, and it gives you a special ability. Like the dictator here can tell somebody a kind of loot they can't take. So they might say, you can't take a diamond this turn. The stealthy, if you fall down on your own, you steal $10,000. This guy gets a free painting at the beginning of the game. This guy takes 5 wounds to kill him instead of 3. This guy, when he's eliminated, when someone else is eliminated, he can steal 2 of their loot cards. Fantastic. So these are fun to play with, and there's enough of them that I would recommend. Doesn't say in the rules. I'd recommend giving everybody 2 and letting them pick one. Anyway, that's how you play. So there you go. Very fun game. one of the cool things about this game is that it's 8 people. The original game was only 6, 8 people, and they managed to fit it in a smaller box, make it a cheaper price, and everything I think is upgraded. Some people hate the new artwork, which kind of boggles my mind because I think the original artwork was really strange and cartoony. The new artwork is strange and cartoony. It fits the theme. I don't think we want to play with realistic stuff anyway. Some people are not going to like the theme. They're not going to want to teach kids or even have adults pointing guns at each other. And I completely understand that. If that's bothersome to you, then you should probably avoid this game. If that isn't, though, I promise you this game is a load of fun. The whole drafting cards thing works so well because you want to position yourself to be the leader to get the first draft pick. You want to try to grab things for yourself, sometimes grab something somebody else wants. And the whole game, though, comes down to, is there a click or a bang in the gun? Wow. There was a bang, bang, bang card in the original Cashing Guns that some people were worried about that leaving. I don't miss it at all. It completely eliminates some confusion that the original game had. This game runs very smoothly without it. The drafting makes up for it, and the fact that the leader can tell someone to change where their gun is pointing. All this adds up to a game that is always a laugh-out-loud riot. I don't know that I've ever played a bad game of this. I've seen grandmas and people that you think are very nice seem to know how to turn the gun sideways and put it right up against someone else's head. Very strange for people who only watch, Murder, She Wrote or stuff. But an excellent game. I recommend it. It's almost a party game to me at this point. Cashing Guns 2nd Edition.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.